The topic of today's video, Ableton Live versus Cubase. So let's compare DAWs and you can get an idea of which one interests you more and maybe try out some of the trial versions of them to get some experience. Alright, so Ableton Live 12. Who is this for? I'd say it's ideal for electronic producers, beat makers, and live performers. That is the major draw for Ableton. Ableton's workflow is optimized for improvisation, quick iteration, and creative exploration. You see what I did there? So, standout features here. We have a dual workflow model. So, Session View is a grid-based interface for launching clips and scenes in real time. Hugely popular for live performance and non-linear creation. Then we have Arrangement View, which is the traditional timeline editing. Users can work in both simultaneously using dual monitors. Pretty cool. Another big draw for Ableton, at least to me, is its MIDI innovation. So we have MIDI transformations and generators. These introduce hyper creativity, allowing automated chord progressions, melodic patterns, and generative rhythmic ideas. We also have Capture MIDI, which automatically logs anything you play, even if you didn't press record, so no musical ideas get lost, which is pretty useful. And then of course, like any DAW, we have a ton of cool MIDI effects, arpeggiators, chords, melodic steps, expression control, pitch, plus stacking racks for endless possibilities. Now, not to forget some of the more, I don't know if next gen would be the right word for it, but I'm going to use it. Next gen instruments and effects. So we have Meld, which is a bitimbral MPE capable sound design engine built for expressing melodic nuance. Then we have a Raw, a distortion or warmth device designed for creative coloration, and a Granulator 3 updated with MPE support for granular sound design. Now, recent updates have seen some very nice workflow refinements like stacked detail views, so you can streamline clip editing by layering multiple contexts at once, browser tagging, and similarity search, which is something FL Studio seriously needs for quick recall of presets, clips, and samples. And we have mass keyboard and voice accessibility support, plus one-click navigation. Alright, so now that we have Ableton out of the way, let's talk about Cubase. So, who's it for? Cubase is designed for composers, recording engineers, scoring pros, and MIDI-heavy orchestration workflows. Think studio precision and deeply structured creativity. So, standout features here are MIDI and expression mastery. So we have note expression and expression maps. So per note articulations control pitch bends, filter moves, ideal for lifelike orchestral realism. Chord track and MIDI harmonization auto detects, manipulates, and triggers chord sequences across multiple tracks. Pretty cool. As well as having the ability to customize scripting and recall every MIDI idea, even unrecorded ones. So similar to Ableton. In terms of audio editing power, you have non-destructive time warp based on hit points for precise flexibility, as well as vary audio and comping, so that's pro-grade pitch correction, tuning tools, and robust take comp workflows for perfect vocal matches. If we jump over into the mixing and production suite, we have the mix console and snapshots. So channel strips that mimic hardware consoles, mix snapshots allow quick versioning and comparisons. You have unlimited inserts and sends, so you can set up insanely complex routing, multi-effects chains per channel, and granular mixing architectures, as well as the drums on Cubase, guys. The drum sequencer. There's one specific one that I just can't think of the name. It's Groove something. Very cool. Other cool things to mention here are VST system link, so you can link multiple machines for synchronized multi-track playback and recording, perfect for larger production setups. You have ARA2 integration with plugins like Melodyne, which again, another thing as an FL user I would just love to have in. It's just so convenient not having to record the whole track into Melodyne, but just having it integrated just with a few clicks of a button and everything is there and you just pitch correct and it's all live. But anyways, I'm getting way out of the scope. This is about Cubase and Ableton. So what are the best use cases for the two different DAWs? Choose Ableton Live if you value creative workflows, live performance, and inspired improvisational production. Choose Cubase if you prioritize studio-grade precision, scoring tools, MIDI control, and professional-level mixing capabilities. Think Ed Sheeran, Ableton, Enon Zur, or Hans Zimmer. I believe he is a popular Cubase user. If you look at the different spectrums of these two people, what Ed does and what Hans does are two very different things, but they technically could do the same things on each other's software. But in terms of efficiency, each software works for each individual setting. At the end of the day, both are heavyweights with strengths tailored to different creative needs, whether you're jamming loops, live, or creating cinematic orchestras. Both of these tools are pretty great. If this helped you, hit like, hit subscribe, and comment below which DAW fits your music path or your production path, your voiceover path, whatever path you're on. Which DAW are you using? Let's nerd out in the comments.